Do you sometimes feel held back by what happened in the past, that your past keeps coming up for review, or that whenever you're trying to do something, trying to move forward, things from the past kind of repeat itself, or just fears from the past keep coming up, trying to hold you back, trying to derail you from actually moving forward? Now, if you ever had that, for one, I mean, this is quite normal for many people, but I want you to know one thing. Your past does not define who you are or who you are becoming moving forward. And you can let go of all the stuff that happened in the past that is still coming up and holding you back, and really heal deeply from that. You can let that go and be the empowered version of you. Really take back your control, take back your power over all the stuff that was happening in the past, and be the empowered version moving forward. And in this video today, I want to share with you a simple 7-step process to help you release your past for good. So you can really draw the line on what has been and open yourself up to the new, a new experience, a more empowered way moving forward. And if you're not quite sure how exactly does your past hold you back and get in the way, let me share with you. See, we all experience certain things throughout our life, and it teaches us certain things. It teaches us to be afraid to let another person in, for example, to open our heart because we could get hurt again, or to not speak up in front of the crowd because, well, they may laugh at us and things like that. And anytime something happened that you still remember, right? It's those things the things that you still remember, that when you're thinking back at it, it still has somewhat of that negative punch to it when you're thinking about it. It's those things that keep coming up. Now, usually those things that we experience in our life, they're meant to teach us something. They're meant to give us an experience, meant to help us grow, if we allow ourselves to really learn the lesson from that. And sometimes we have free will, and sometimes we just don't want to learn the lesson. And then things keep coming up until we are ready to learn the lesson. But it can hold you back from, let's say you want to, start a YouTube channel, or be a spiritual way shower, or do something that is outside of your comfort zone. Or maybe even if you want to go out dating someone, or have friendships, or do something courageous. That's usually when the memories of the past kind of sneak in, like, oh no, back in the day I did something, and oh my God, that was not a good experience. I was hurt. I was disappointed. I felt ashamed. People laughed at me, things like that. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't even do that. No, this is stupid. I'm not going to do that. Right? Or you just simply don't put yourself out there as much because you're afraid of what might happen if you do. So that's usually the past experiences can still be on repeat in a way, or you're still just afraid that it could happen again. So you play small, you hold back, you don't put yourself out there that much. And the reason why releasing those things is so important is because just because you say, oh, I'm not going to think about it anymore, I'm going to put it aside, it's in the past, and whatever is in the past, I don't want to deal with it, that doesn't mean it is gone. Because it stays within your energetic makeup. So anytime you're trying to do something, it then triggers that memory from what happened in the past. You're like, oh, no, not doing that. And you're holding back. You are playing small. You are then saying no to something that maybe you actually would like to do out of fear of, well, maybe whatever happened in the past will repeat itself, right? So that's why it's so important that you clear it on a core level, on an energetic level, because think of it like that. Anytime something happens to you, and that's like an explanation I like to give my clients as well to make sense of how that works. So think of it like that. Whenever something happens to you, it's like a shock to your system. Let's say you're walking straight on the street, and then someone comes to you and kind of pushes you like, oh my God, you just have to catch yourself again to get back into balance. Well, but internally, that shock is still like, oh my God, that just scared me. Oh my God, I just almost had a heart attack here, right? So that energetically is still within you, because then maybe later on you're thinking about it, you're like, oh my God, I'm still kind of feeling that intenseness of, I thought I was going to fall down. And that's what I'm talking about. So anytime something bad has happened to you in the past, and it's not always something massively, but just let's say, your dad came home or your mom came home and you're like, hey, Daddy. And they're like, hey, let me come home first. Give me some time. I want to relax first. Just give me some time to breathe. And you as a little kid, you're like, Mom or Daddy doesn't love me anymore. things like that. It doesn't make sense to you right now, maybe, but that inner child within you is still there. It's still hurt that, hey, mama, daddy, once told me to leave her alone or leave him alone. And that's the things. It stays within your energetic makeup. So whenever you're then trying to go out there and maybe find a loving partner, start a spiritual business, share your message, or do anything that is outside of your comfort zone, usually that triggers something within you that is related to something that happened in the past. And then all kind of things start happening. Your mind starts rattling off things why you shouldn't do these. Your fears are coming up. Doubts are coming up. All of those things are coming up as a protection for you not to move forward. So what you want to do is you want to heal whatever it has triggered that fear, that doubt, the angst, or all of that feeling that is keeping you from actually moving forward, that is keeping you from feeling empowered and going after things that you want. Right? So that's why it's so important that we heal and clear that. And I want to share with you a simple 7-step process that you can do on your own to start releasing, or first uncovering what is really going on, and then start releasing that, to release, draw the line, like, I'm done with this, I don't want this no more, and set yourself free, because that's ultimately what you're doing. When you start healing and releasing those things that happened in the past, you are ultimately setting yourself free. You're removing the shackles of that thing that is still holding you back. So let me share with you those 7 steps so you can start releasing the past, so you can start setting yourself free. The first thing I want to invite you to do is review your life. Like, go back as far as you can. Start with childhood and write down anything and everything that you still remember that still holds somewhat of that negative punch to it. And when you're thinking about it, that was kind of hurtful, that upset you. Ideally, what you do is start with as early as you can, like birth, right? Whatever you remember. And funny enough, you may say, well, how was a baby? I can't remember anything. There are things that even you as the baby, you will still remember. So I want to invite you, and this can be done multiple times. You can keep going back and asking what else. But start out with, like, each year of your life, kind of tune in and think, what do I remember when I was 1 year old that still bothers me, that I haven't really let go of, that is still kind of staying within me? And write down anything and everything that comes up. Nothing is too small. So anything and everything that comes up there, it's coming up for a reason, because there's still somewhat of a negative charge around it. So write everything down. Start from as early as you can, birth, and then each year all the way up until now, your age right now. Of course, if you're a little older, then it may take you a little longer, but it's perfectly fine, because the more you uncover, and here I also want to mention, don't feel bad if you're writing 20, 30, 40 pages. Perfectly fine. I love uncovering those things, because that means I can release it. So think of it like that. If you write 20, 30, 40, 50 pages, well, then you have the awareness. If you wouldn't have done this exercise, then you wouldn't be aware, then you couldn't do anything about it, right? So I always like uncovering things that require healing, because then I can say, okay, I'm done with that. Go, bye-bye. I set myself free from that, right? And I want to invite you, instead of feeling ashamed or bad about what happened, that you're still holding on to these things or being hard on yourself, don't. Be grateful for all the things that come up, and keep asking, what else? The more you can uncover, that gives you immense power, because that means you have the awareness, and with awareness comes the power of choice, because then you can do something about it. If you don't have the awareness, if you don't do this work, well, then it's still there. It's still there, deep beneath the surface. You're just unaware, and it's still playing with you. It's still throwing stuff at you when you least expect it. It's still playing its games with you, and you can't do anything about it because you're not aware. So become aware. Do this work. Review your life. Go as far back as you can. Write it all down. Make like bulletin points of anything and everything that you can remember that still holds a negative charge. Now, I'm not talking about the good kind of things. That's not what I'm talking about, because you don't want to release the good things. You just want to release the negative things. So become aware of anything that still holds somewhat of a negative punch to it. And when you're thinking about it, it doesn't feel good. Even if it's just tiny little bit, like nothing is too small. Nothing is insignificant. Anything and everything that comes up needs to be written down because it comes up for you to become aware of it, to release. I truly believe anything and everything that comes up for a reason. It gives you the power to do something about it. It gives you the awareness to then heal from that. So write it all down. That's the first step. Review your life. Then at the second step here is you want to then uncover what is at the core of this. All these things that have happened, there's like a core theme behind it, right? The emotions, the beliefs, the fears. What is at the core of it? So let's say, going back to this example, and that's actually something that happened to me before. My dad came home. I was a little kid, like, hey, daddy, daddy, daddy. And my dad was the kind of person, when he came home, he literally needed like 15 minutes just to kind of decompress before he was able to be the dad, right? I didn't understand it when I was a little kid. So I was like, daddy, daddy. And he was like, leave me alone for a little bit. I just got home, right? So now I understand that, but back then I didn't. So me as the little kid, I was like, daddy doesn't love me. So that's one of the things that I had to heal. And here, going back to this example, at that point, I felt unlovable. I felt like my dad doesn't love me, doesn't want me. I felt unwanted. Me, the little child, right? So when you uncover all these things that are still holding somewhat of a negative charge, and you're kind of digging a little deeper, well, what's the core feeling behind it? What's the core belief behind that experience? That's what you want to cover. Because it's not about the story of what happened. The story is, think of it like that. The story is like the packaging that makes it look a certain way. But the packaging, the story never matters. What matters is what's the core of it. It's the feelings, the fears, the emotions, the doubts, and all of that. That's what is at the core. That's what you need to uncover. So first uncover all the things that are still bothering you, and then uncover what's at the root of that. Write that right next to it, all the things that you've uncovered. Right next to it. What does it bring up within you? What does it trigger within you? What is the emotional charge behind it? What is the fear? What's the doubt behind whatever happened? Like I said, don't go into the story. The story doesn't matter. It's what is at the core of it. The feelings, the emotions, the fears, the doubts. Write that down. That's the second step. Then the third step here is you want to connect the dots. See, how does whatever happened back then, how does that play out in your life right now? Right? So for example, let's say if I would have, had these kind of experience about, not feeling loved all my life or whatnot, well, that would then cause me to then have problems finding a loving partner, being in a relationship, having friends and those type of things, because then I would feel like I'm not lovable. No one wants me and those type of things, right? So you want to kind of see, how does things play out in your life? Or let's say you have done something and stood up in class when you were a little kid, or when you were in school and maybe had to read your essay or something like that. And then you were laughed at because you made a mistake. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've had that before, right? I mean, raise your hand here, right? I think we all have had that kind of experience where we had to stand up in class and we spoke and we were made fun of. And then all of a sudden we were afraid of public speaking, right? Been there, done that. It took me a very long time to overcome the fear of public speaking to get ready to do these videos. But you want to uncover, how does whatever happened in the past now connect to what's going on in your life right now? If you had certain experience in your past and now all of a sudden you're realizing that, well, you're really playing small, you don't want to put yourself out there, you don't want to, be seen or be heard, or you're really holding back when it comes to relationships, that is usually not because of you right now, it's because of what happened in the past. So by you uncovering the things that happen and then the core feeling behind it and then connecting the dots, you will then see, you know what? I'm doing this right now because of what happened back then. And that gives you power, because that moves me then into the fourth step here. So you want to heal. You want to heal the emotional charge. And what you can do on your own is you can use something that's called Ho'oponopono. That is one thing that is very, very simple. It's an Hawaiian mantra to release the negative charge around whatever is holding you back, whatever you're still feeling. So what you can do is you can look at your list of the things that happen, the feelings, the core feelings behind, and you're kind of gazing at, you're putting your attention on it, not focusing on the story, but you're putting your attention on when that happened, how you felt. And then you repeat the Hawaiian mantra. It goes as simple as that. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You can do this in your mind, or you can do it out loud, whichever way you feel called to do that. But you would repeat that with intention, right? You're putting the intention behind it. You actually are doing this to release the emotional charge, and you keep repeating it until you feel somewhat of a shift. And you feel like, okay, now you've said it enough, and you notice that it doesn't bother you as much. You then just go through your list of things that you have written down until, well, you don't have to do it all in one sitting, by the way, because you will feel exhausted. You will feel very heavy, because when you're releasing negative charge, it is taxing on your body. So just take your time with this. Be gentle with yourself. When you're noticing that you're feeling like tired, you're feeling like complete for the session, don't push through it, because then it won't work anymore, right? Because your body can only release as much as it can in that time. If you're then pushing through, it's not really doing anything. But you can use Ho'oponopono, or if you know of any other modality, go for it. Go with whatever you feel called to do. But the first 3 steps is really, or the first 2 is really important. Uncovering what happened, and then uncovering the root of it. Because you need to heal the emotional charge behind it. You can even check what is the intensity to kind of gauge yourself, like, okay, how much you have your release. Before you start the healing, kind of check in with the intensity from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. How intense are you feeling that? For example, the not feeling loved or not feeling wanted. At what intensity do you feel that? Write that down before you do the healing, and then do the healing, and then later on check with you. How intense does it feel now? What? If you're still, let's say, on a higher number, check in with yourself. Well, what else is there? Then maybe you're being taken to something else that happened. So it's like, it's kind of like a spider web, basically. Like you're going to one, and then there's another one, there's another one, there's another story that you maybe can go to. And here I also want to invite you to check out my video. It's a light code activation to help you release emotional wounds and emotional and the blocks. You can do that too by focusing on whatever you want to heal and release, listening to the activation to receive the light codes to help you on a deeper level. And if you want my help for a deeper healing, I also offer single light language healing sessions, so we can kind of go through whatever's coming up for you. And I can help you heal at a deeper level. Now, if you like my light language activations, then you'll definitely love my session, because then I can guide you on uncovering, well, what is really at the root of it, and then heal and clear that. We can do a lot in one session. Of course, we can't heal everything, but if that is of interest to you, there's a link in the description below if you want to check out my light language healing sessions. It's a 60-minute session where we can really clear out whatever's coming up for you if you want that additional help. But clear those, like even Ho'oponopono can be very beneficial for you to heal and clear the emotional charge around whatever is coming up for you. Then the 5th step is, once you've cleared and released that, you then also want to make a decision. You want to decide for yourself. Do you want to continue allowing this to derail you? Do you want to continue believing that? Or do you want to draw the line saying, no, I'm no longer available for this? That is a choice that you need to make for yourself, because just healing it and then not making a decision, it's like, it's like wishy-washy, right? You're healing and releasing it, but then you're like not really deciding to want to let it go. So you got to make the decision that, you know what, I'm no longer available for this, right? And then each time when something comes up again, that's similar to that, you're like, no, I'm no longer available for this. Nope. I'm raising the bar here. I'm no longer available for that experience. And you're really drawing the line in the sand. Like nope, no more. That is a decision that you need to make for yourself. Because if you don't, then you continue giving your power away to the past. So you really want to take that power back by deciding for yourself that I'm no longer available for that. And then the 6th step here is you want to set new intentions. Now that you healed and cleared that, and you decide you're no longer available for this, what do you want instead? What is the experience you want to have instead? And get clear on that. Set those intentions of what you are now only available for. This or something better. If, let's say, you're always felt like unloved or unwanted and you don't want to deal with that anymore, you say, no, I am always wanted. People love to be with me. People appreciate me. People value me. Those type of things. You want to get clear for what do you want instead, because you can't just clear it and then not do anything. It's like you got to replace it with something more uplifting, because that's how you then take back your power. Because then that also then is somewhat of a set point for you When you then meet someone that doesn't appreciate you, doesn't respect you, doesn't treat you the way you know you deserve to be treated, you can say, nah, not available for this. Nope, don't want this, because that only keeps me in that energy of what happened in the past. I don't want this no more, right? So when you know what you don't want anymore and then what you want instead, that is then basically your blueprint. Whenever you go out there, you're meeting people, you're going about life, you're doing certain things, and then the past is kind of trying to come back. You're like, nope. Not available for that no more. I am available only for this or something even better. So set those intentions, really make the decision of what you want. And then the seventh and final step here is, and this is really the most empowering step of all, is, once you cleared everything, well, you kind of have to step into your empowered self on a daily basis. And what I mean by that is, once you know what you're no longer available for and those new intentions, you want to embody those new intentions of the things that you want instead. You want to really feel how empowered you are from within. You can even tune into the word being empowered. What does that mean for you? How will you feel when you're empowered? Think back at a time when you felt absolutely empowered. You can even do the Superman pose or Superwoman pose, like standing up straight, arms up, head up high, shoulders back, whatever it is that will help you feel empowered. Because usually when you're disempowered, you're kind of slouching, you're just feeling kind of small, you're making yourself small. But when you're empowered, you have your back straight, right? Your shoulders are back. You feel kind of tall, right? You have your head held high. Do what you need to do to feel empowered. And especially if there's something that's coming up that is causing you to doubt yourself again, tune into that energy of feeling empowered. Go back to those intentions, embody that, and then really feel that, bring it up within you. You want to embody, you want to teach your body how it feels to be empowered. And if you're doing that daily, then you are more in control over your own life. You're not then allowing the past to derail you. You're not giving your power away to outside circumstances, your past or other people, but no, you are in your own power. And you then want to act from that place. How would your empowered self act in certain situations? You can always ask yourself, when you're in doubt, tune in. Okay, how would my empowered version of myself, how would my empowered self act right now, or behave, or think, or feel about this? How would my empowered version respond to this? Because it's not about reacting, it's about responding with in ways that are to your highest and greatest good. And then really act from that empowered place. Be that empowered version of you. Course correct whenever you're feeling that your past is trying to sneak in again. It's like, nope, not available for this no more. Don't want this no more. Nope. This is who I am. This is what my new set points are, and then act from that place. And of course, then heal some more. Whenever something else comes up, heal some more, whether it's using Ho'oponopono or here. And this is a bonus point here, is sometimes you may require help for the deeper healing, because sometimes we're too close to our own stuff that it's like, you don't want to open up Pandora's box without help, because you close that box and put it aside, especially if it's something that really still bothers you a lot. You don't even want to think about it anymore. You don't want to heal that on your own, because, when you open it, it can really derail you. So here, and this is really the bonus step here, the bonus point that I want to mention is, some things really require help from a healer, a mentor, someone that can help you get to the bottom of things and help you heal and release it and support you in the process. So you're not doing this on your own and you're feeling totally derailed. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it would be best if you work with someone that can help you heal the deeper rooted things, the painful things that you're still holding on to, that you haven't quite healed from. Now, like I said, just because you're putting it aside and you put it in a box and then stuffed it deep down and didn't think about it for a very long time, doesn't mean it's not there anymore, okay? You're just not aware of it, but it is there, and it's causing a whole lot of challenges and obstacles and setbacks and all kind of things that it really requires your healing. And like I said, if you would like my help, we can get a lot done in just one session. And there's a link in the description below for just my single healing sessions. If that really feels called to you, check it out. I would be honored to help you heal on a deeper level. But like I said, sometimes it may require some deeper healing. Okay. But definitely keep healing, keep releasing the stuff and then keep stepping into your own power to take back your power. So you're not giving your power away to all these outside things. Okay. So I really hope you enjoyed these 7 steps of how to really let go of your past, because like I said at the beginning, your past does not define you. Just because the stuff happened in the past doesn't mean that you have to keep carrying it with you for the rest of your life. You can heal from it. You can let it go. That doesn't mean you're going to forget about it. It's just not going to be intense when you're thinking about it. So you actually may not even think about it anymore because the negative charge is actually released. Okay. So if you like this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, maybe leave me a comment below. Let me know. Do you feel like that your past is kind of holding you back, getting in the way and keeping you really from being all that you can be and more? Or have you done any healing before, any past healing? And how did that really impact your life? I would love to know. Leave me a comment below. But thank you so much for being here. Now be sure to check out this next video here about removing those emotional charges, the blocks, the light code activation to really help you on a deeper level as well. And like I said, definitely check out my healing session if that resonates with you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, make it an amazingly abundant, successful day. Namaste.